What is up, you guys? So if you are new and this is your first time stopping by, thank you. Hope you like what you see and take a second to subscribe wherever the subscribe button is. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you. I definitely appreciate you for coming back. So as you guys can see by the title of this video, we're going to be doing a back to school haul. The things that I'm going to show you in this video are things that I think are necessary. I am going into my senior year and these are the bare minimum that I've been getting for the last 3 years, and it's been getting me by and maintaining my average and such. So this is what I think you should actually go in stores and buy. You don't need a lot of supplies to succeed in school, despite what other people might tell you. You honestly do not need the entire Staples or Target. You don't. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first thing you're gonna need is a book bag. This is just a bag that I chose. I got this bag a semester ago and it's still pretty sturdy. It's a book bag. It has 2 straps, so it helps with distributing the weight. And this bag I think pairs up really well with my professional clothes and my dress down clothes. So that is why I have this one. But of course you can get any bag that you choose. Just make sure it's sturdy enough to last you a semester or a year. So that is that. The second thing that I personally use in school is my electronics. So I have both my iPad and my MacBook. No, these are not necessary by any means, but these are just the tools that I decided that I needed sophomore year. So the iPad takes away from me having to carry a whole bunch of books to school and making my bag heavy. And I do go from in elementary school, then I'll go to school, then I'll go to work. So it just helps to have all my notebooks on here instead of having to carry several different books. So that is that. This is the MacBook Pro. I got this maybe 2015 or 2016. This is what I type all of my essays on. It's just easier to get them done on here. And I leave this at home, but it definitely comes in handy. So the next thing that I think is a necessity is a planner. This is a very small compact planner that you can throw in any size bag, which I think is super convenient, because what's the point of having a planner if it just sits at home? So this is where you would write all of your notes, what's due, what assignments you have coming up in a week or 2 weeks or even a month from now. It just helps you stay on track, which is something that I feel is very necessary in college. Next, I have a notebook. I only have one, and this is a 2-subject notebook. This is just for those classes where the professor doesn't want electronics. So out of respect, I bring a notebook to class so I can take my notes. After I take my notes on here, sometimes I will transfer it over to my iPad just to get that memory in. Like when you rewrite your notes, it helps you remember it better. So if I write anything in here, I just transfer it over later. So definitely a notebook, and obviously you would get more notebooks depending on your needs. If you're taking 5 different classes, you shouldn't get one notebook. But if you're taking one class, you don't need a 5-subject notebook, if that makes sense. Next, I have loose leaf paper. This pack of loose leaf, I actually had it since maybe sophomore year, and I have yet to finish the pack. I don't really use a lot of loose leaf in school, but I do carry it just in case the professor is like, oh, you know, quick do now or something. So loose leaf. And then I have this one folder. I know it's very bright. This folder, I put whatever handouts, my syllabus, all of that go in here. I don't need a ton of folders because most of my documents and such are in Blackboard, and if anything, I'll just scan it and transfer it to the iPad, so I don't really need to print anything out, and it also saves paper. And last but not least, your writing utensils. So you're going to need highlighters of your choosing. I find that the yellow ones are cleaner on the paper when I do highlight, so I have these 2 highlighters. I've been using them since maybe sophomore year, and they haven't ran out of ink yet, so I didn't have to buy new ones. But if you do, then buy new ones. I have a permanent marker. I never actually use this, but I always have it in my bag for some reason, and I'm just going to continue to have it in my bag. And I have black gel pens when I do take notes or when I do have to sign my syllabus or sign the attendance sheet, I will use this. I prefer any kind of gel pens. I'm not too picky on the brand or anything. As long as it's gel and it glides nicely on the paper, I am perfectly fine. And finally, for the pens, I have some different color pens. So I have some of the Papermate pens. These are the flare ones. These apparently are like a teacher's best friend, so I've been testing them out to see if I really like them, and it turns out I do. So if I want to take notes in different colors while I'm writing my notes on paper, I will be using these. And I have 2 regular gel pens as well, pink and blue. These are just the 2 colors that I have left. I haven't bought a new pack just because I still have colors left and got new Papermate pens. I also keep 2 basic pens in my bag. This is just in case someone asks to borrow a writing utensil and I don't want to give them one of my favorite pens, so I'll just give them one of these instead. And most of the times I won't get them back, but I don't really care because it's these pens right here, versus if I gave them one of my favorite gel pens, then I'd feel a type of way. So that is it, guys. Honestly, you do not need to go and buy the entire Target or Staples. You need the bare minimum for your supplies and you will be perfectly fine. One of the most important supplies actually that I didn't mention because I don't have them is textbooks. Whether you scan them, whether you buy them unchecked, whether you rent them or you ebook them, nope, your textbooks are the most important thing. So before you go out and splurge on items that you don't necessarily need, just make sure you get your textbooks first. And that is pretty much it, guys. This is a very minimal supply haul, and some of these things I've had before. Like I said, I don't really believe in buying new items when I already have them here from last semester, the semester prior. So this is very minimal. You don't have to go out and splurge on school supplies. Trust me, it's not necessary, and you really take your time to digest what the teacher or professor is teaching you. You will be perfectly fine with the bare minimum. And that is it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.